Let's talk about some more polls and quizzes that you have been filling in about twin flames, twin flame union, twin flame healing, and so forth and so on the last couple of weeks and months. And I have a version 1 of this video, and it was going over an hour already, and that's when I stopped. And now we're going to continue for this second review of what you have been telling me about where you're standing, how you're doing, and what your understanding is about the correct twin flame work and knowledge and wisdom and stuff. And we're going to look into that together, and I will, as much as possible, give you a glimpse of what I'm seeing on my screen. And then, because I have all these screenshots of your filled in polls and quizzes, and then I will be discussing that to you right here. And we have been stopping yesterday after I talked about the twin flame tool, which I call the key tool, and you can do it with all your heart and with a lot of information for free and stuff in our Facebook group. It's called Your Abundance, and you would be very welcome. And now we're going to go to the next one, and that is, it's a quiz. So that has a right or a wrong answer according to me. And the question is, which statement is true? This quiz has received 17 answers. And the first option is, which statement is true? The false twin flame is always bad to be with. And nobody voted for that option. Yeah, that was maybe surprising for me, I remember. Because nobody really wants to be with a false twin flame. It's the one that you think is the twin flame, but then eventually you find out that it is not truly them, and they fall away from your experience as well when you have met the true one, and that will be revealed to you that they are your true one. And there is a revelation process to that, and I actually do have a video about that revelation process, and you can go find where I put that video on my channel by going to my channel page, and then there is on my channel page a little tool, and it's indicated with a magnifying glass. That's the search bar, and when you put any term there and press enter, then you will see if I have a video about that twin flame topic, and I highly recommend you try that out about any twin flame question that you have, because maybe I have the answer for you in another video already for quite some time, and you can just consume it right there, what your answer should be. So the false twin flame, it doesn't sound great. Nobody wants that, but at the same time, we do invite it unconsciously a lot of the time because we're not at the core attuned to the true vibration of the twin flame, and that's why we attract a false twin flame. But then actually, contradictorily, it's not so bad in truth, because this false twin flame will teach you a lot of things that you actually need to know, need to learn in order for you to be able to recognize and choose for and go to harmonious union with your true twin flame. And this false twin flame will teach you this. It will become clear to you in, for instance, the technique of contrast. Because it will become clear to you, like, oh, this is really bad, and what I actually long for is very different. And that's this contrasting experience that I mean, and that's how your values become clear, how you get to know yourself, and then you can, at a certain point, let's say, jump over to the correct experience. And if you are doing all of that on the actual twin flame journey with doing the actual twin flame inner work with the key tool, then you will be also guaranteed that the true twin flame will not be far away most often, when you find out that it was actually a false one, and you can make a better choice and another choice, and you've updated yourself with the lessons learned and with contrast driven insights in who you truly are. The twin flame most often will not be really far away. The true twin flame will not be far away at such a moment. Is the experience of real life from the people that I have seen move towards union, and myself as well. My own journey is a very big example for how I speak always. So many of the also dumb things, or silly things, or gosh, I wish we didn't do that. These are all things that I personally have experienced. So I never look down on you. I understand what you're coming from and what you're doing and stuff. So that's how you need to see everything that I discuss. Always. So nobody answered the false twin flame is always bad to be with. And it's also indeed wrong, because it's not always bad to be with, because you do get via contrast an experience of what you do want. So that's actually good. And it's also, of course, an experience that is only temporary. Specifically, when you do the actual twin flame inner work, you will come out at your true twin flame, and even at the state of consciousness of harmonious twin flame union, what it is all about. And you will come out at that true place. There's no other option than that will happen for you. And it's not so bad to, for a certain time on that journey towards that place, have a false twin flame experience, because ultimately you will arrive. And that's the most important thing, and that's what you got to have in your sight as your focus. And learn your lessons, of course. I mean, it is important, right? So which statement is true? Twin flames are each other's biggest mirrors was the second option in this quiz. And 88% voted for that, and they were indeed right. Now, the last two options were thus not true. Not everyone is a twin flame, and the true twin flame will only be polite and pleasant. So this may still hold a couple of surprises for you, because twin flames are each other's biggest mirrors. 88% voted for that. And which statement is true? This is the one and only that was true. And many people may know that they are each other's biggest mirrors, and they are each other's biggest mirrors for their bad things, let's say. How do you say that? Like their errors, their unconscious darkness. They mirror that to you. They do, and they are the best of mirroring that to you, of all people and things of the entire universe. And that's also why people often complain about their twin flame is such an asshole, whatnot, and okay. But they're actually mirroring something that's inside of you, and they must, because they are your biggest mirrors of all time and of all places. And yeah, maybe that is a pretty well-known fact, because 88% said that. But they're also the biggest mirrors of your divine love and your true compassion and your values in life that are really positive and grounded. And yeah, there you go. So they're mirrors in multiple directions, in multiple interpretations. But they are your biggest mirrors. This is not always nice and dandy, which you would want to have if you're very romantically minded in the old-fashioned sense, because they also mirror your biggest blocks and your biggest darkness and your biggest unconscious nastiness. That is, of course, a call for healing, and that is why we do twin flame inner work with the key tool on the journey already, even before you are together with your twin flame and stuff. You better get used to it, and the fact that you're doing that will attract them to you, because you become purified and you exude that original twin flame vibration that you're actually made out of more and more pure, so that you become this, let's say, magnet that will attract them to you, and the true one, not the false one. That comes with purification, and purification you do with the actual twin flame tool, the actual twin flame work, and not other kinds of things. Because maybe you just love taking a bath and you just try to love yourself, and you love giving yourself some psychology sessions, and that is all very good and it's great, and everything that you feel good about you can keep doing. But you need to do the actual twin flame inner work as an extra layer to anything that you already feel good about. You need to do the actual twin flame inner work, because otherwise you're not doing the twin flame inner work and you won't have the success that I'm about. So that's your part of the deal. It's your part of your responsibility, basically, right? All right, which statement is true? Not everyone is a twin flame. So if that were true, not everyone is a twin flame, then this would be a very elitist talk here. We would be only with a few of us, and we would be very special. And we would be so in a minority, you know. Oh, we're like an endangered species. Well, okay, so being a twin flame is just the deeper nature of being human, and everyone is that. It just points to the fact that you are on the deeper inner level, on the spirit level, where your soul meets the direct light ray going back to your source. On that place, most people have more spirit parts of you that actually belong together and anchor in there, in that invisible place in their soul. And that's what the term twin flame refers to. For the very, very, very most people, that is only one other part besides themselves. Thus, the idea of this popularized term, twin flames. And the flames also because it is very much able to be imagined as a light ray that you are on that invisible level coming from source. So that's, I think, also where the idea of the ray or the flame comes from, you know, like light. So everyone is a twin flame, but nevertheless, 6%, I think like one person or something, has clicked on not everyone is a twin flame. And I understand, like, this is out there, this is what people talk about, this is how people often talk about twin flames. And I understand it does sound like a little strange and culty and like, you know, something that is kind of special and different. Well, but in a sense it is different because not everyone, let's say, wants to achieve that being manifested in their actual life, in their relationships, as the basis of their living their life and their work. And that's different right now. At this point, we're in such a place in the world in which little people still, as of yet, want to have that, what everyone is on the deeper soul level, the spirit parts, be together in an intimate relationship right now, manifested in their daily life, and live that as a relationship and as the basis of their entire life. Not everyone wants that or goes after that or invests in that, and so on. So that is true. So I guess that makes for the idea to arise that it might be some sort of special, but that's not so. Yeah. And there is another answer possible. Which statement is true? The true twin flame will only be polite and pleasant. And 6%, so I think one person has voted for that one as well. And a true twin flame will not only be polite and pleasant, so it's not true. And that is because of what I spoke about earlier. They are your biggest mirrors of all time and all places. And it means that they will also project back to you unpolite and unpleasant spaces in yourself, and upsets in yourself, and darknesses in yourself. And they will portray that to you as well. And that is so that you heal with the actual twin flame inner work tool key, so that you do become purified, so that you more and more can actually live that pure light ray that comes through the both of you equally and at the same time. And that is the direct source, life and light, that you can live together. That's what will happen in union. That's what union is about. So you start to live on another level than on these debris that are sometimes great and sometimes really, really dark. And you actually start to live on the level beyond both. And that's where twin flames live. That's what union is about. When you achieve that, you will be in union also in the definition of be with the true twin flame in a relationship. And that may be developing a little slower, or it may be still only a friendship and then developing more later. But you will be living that in union when you live there in this beyond layer. You will know where the union is. It will be clarified to you or become very soon. This must happen approximately at the same time. But this timeless space in the beyond space actually does not have time. And that's why there can be a little bit of a lag between that space and where we actually live in real life. And it will, in time, not always seem exactly the same moment. But in truth, in spirit, it will feel like that. Okay, that was a little bit of a sidetrack. The true twin flame will not only be polite and pleasant, because you are not. Ah, that's always such a disappointment to talk about. Why do you say that, Petra? I'm trying to be so polite and pleasant. I know you're trying that, and that's beautiful in itself. But you do have blind spots and unconscious places where you might be very anxious and very angry and very sad, and many people have that. Everyone has that. That's really normal, and that's what the purification process is about. We're all human beings in our humanness, having a mixture of being black and white, so to speak, and that makes us human. And we do have all this pure original background in our inner life that is the beyond layer on which union lives. So my explanation for the right answer, which was twin flames are each other's biggest mirrors, was like this. The false twin flame is of great help to figure out what your true values are. And the door to your true union. Everyone is a twin flame because it is the pointer to your deeper nature of spirit and the expressions of your spirit core that exist. Twin flames mirror each other's divine love and also their darkest shadows. Therefore, the true twin flame is not exclusively polite and pleasant to you. Purify yourself to have that experience, though, more and more. Beautiful. Let's move on. Which statement is false this time? Not true, but false. Which statement is false? This quiz has received 14 answers. Twin flames are after the end station of every spiritual path. That was the first one. Or twin flames deserve a new path that leads directly to them. Or twin flames are not meant to be together in an actual intimate relationship. Or twin flames are in truth always in union. It's a matter of making that physical. Now, this last one, nobody voted for that, but the other ones, people voted for that. So, which is false? Nobody thought that this was false. Twin flames are in truth always in union. It's a matter of making that physical. So I think all of you guys have understood that this is actually true. In truth, on the spirit layer, you are already in union. It's a matter of making that come true, physical, manifested, 3D, or however you want to call it. Yes, that's true. And isn't that reassuring? I always love that. You are already there, and that reveals itself when you walk the true journey, that this is how it works, how it is, how the truth is. Because on the true journey, when you do the actual twin flame inner work with the key tool, you will experience it like this. You see something and it falls away, and you fall back into the deeper love of the beyond layer. And that is where you will see, in your understanding and mind's eye and interpretation of the world and your twin flame, that they are already with you. They were already as well. And then the next moment and the situation comes up. And you do the twin flame inner work. And that means that this situation explodes or like disappears, comes out of each other and disappears, and you fall back into the deeper love, the divine love, where twin flames live in the beyond space, where you will see in your mind's eye, your viewpoint of that same reality will be that it will be revealed to you that you are already in union with them. And that's what happens on the journey. These are steps of the journey. This is the step on the journey after step of the journey. Sounds like this. When you experience that, you're doing the right kind of inner work, and you are experiencing the true twin flame journey, and you will arrive, and you guarantee that to yourself, etc. So that's how it goes. So most of you had voted for, 79% had voted for which statement is false. Twin flames are not meant to be together in an actual relationship, and 79% thought that was false. And I'm very happy that you all thought that was false, because it is false. Twin flames are meant to be together in an actual intimate relationship. There's nothing wrong with you being in an intimate relationship with your actual true twin flame in a union, and actually better, in harmonious union, the state of consciousness or state of being. That is how you're meant to live. But then at the same time, it's not always the thing that is completely and utterly the first thing that happens with your true twin flame, not even in harmonious union, because there are a couple of roles that the true twin flame has to you, and one of them is your intimate partner, your ultimate lover, your life partner as well. But they're also your very best friend and your teacher and your student too, and your mission partner. So sometimes we can still be with them in the friendship, and we add the mission partner thing to it, and that can take some time, and then you go deeper with them, and then the ultimate lover thing adds to it, and then the life partner thing will be added to it, and so on. So that is how it could go, or another order. And all the time, most of the time, people experience all the time them being their teacher and their student. So, but you are meant to be together in an actual intimate relationship. It's not the case that you would only have these two roles. They are here to all be consumed by the two of you, and they will over time. And in truth, they're all here all the time. It's a matter of revealing that to you in your union, that they are indeed also your intimate relationship, just as much as they are your best friend and your mission partner, and so on. So that is certainly also meant with that. And it is also logic to see that as the ultimate thing and as the foundational thing for seeing what it really is. They are your ultimate lover, because that is the most far-reaching conclusion of what they represent to you in your life, for how we human beings like to build up our daily life in a social emotional sense. We all like to have a ultimate lover with an intimate relationship as the foundation of how we build our life, as the foundational relationship or marriage, if you will, for everything else, for work, and a venture point for friendships, and a venture point for mission, and a venture point for, well, all the other, family. So that is how we human beings love to make the architecture of our life work. So it's also the most far-reaching and most intimate thing to point out, almost, like ultimate lovers. So that's a good one to keep that in mind, and that is absolutely so. And that is always the first thing that should be clear and cleared up, that you are each other's ultimate lover. So, which statement is false? So this one should be true. Twin flames deserve a new path that leads directly to them. And twin flames are after the end station of every spiritual path. And there were people that voted for this, respectively 14% and 7% in the order that I just said. Yes, and they are true. And yeah, that may be really my thing, because I'm a lot about the background of these two statements, and I can't talk about all of that because that will go too far. I do have a beautiful, very long article about the truth of twin flames, and if you want to hear that, then approach me and ask me for it. I can give you the codes so that you can see it online, because it's a hidden gem that I have for people that I sometimes give to people that really want to go deeper with me. So if you're interested, let me know, reach out. And in that article, a blog post with very many, very long chapters, it's almost a book, I do talk about these things quite extensively, that after every true spiritual path, when you've completed it fully and you're left alone sort of there, and you've truly gone as deeply on that spiritual development, which is an organic truth that one can do in the truth of the universe and the human capacity, when you've genuinely walked that entire path, whether it's a path of Christianity or a path of nature religion or a path of Zen Buddhism, it really doesn't matter. It's about the inner path that is available in so many religions and so many spiritual avenues, and teacher-student relationship outside spiritual teacher-student relationship, outside of any tradition or well-known religion or well-known spiritual path. It doesn't matter where it is. When you've genuinely fully completed such a spiritual development path, with your teacher or without your teacher, but genuinely, then something has transformed inside of you, truly, so that you cannot but, after having completed that path, somehow, somewhere, meet your twin flame. But you may not be geared towards keeping that experience here and choosing them as your partner, and necessarily are being after that, and etc., etc. But this is just what organically happens for people that have walked the path. You can't escape it. It's just what happens, because that's how reality is built. That's how the universe works. So the twin flames are after the end station of every spiritual path, but they're not, these paths are most often, all of them, not specifically geared towards it itself. And you would be very lucky if you have a spiritual teacher, maybe outside of any tradition or religion, that might speak to you about this experience that is organic and automatic, and it will happen after you've arrived. But it's often not really acknowledged as such or made a goal, etc. And also, when you do meet them after your spiritual path has completed, your spiritual journey is fulfilled, you might not feel really inclined to actually have this intimate relationship with them, because it had until that point also not been geared towards that. And in a certain way, you can certainly say that this is a new layer of spirituality on top of the rest of everything that already exists, to some sort of make that a goal, but it's not an ego goal. It's just that you can start to really understand that this is like even a new ascension layer when you would do that, and that's like, let's say, a very far developed point that we can come into. And you could make that step from all spiritual and religious paths that are known and well known sometimes, and you can also do that without them while stepping in this new ascended layer. And that's actually what we're doing here. Did you know that? That is what we're doing here. So it's like almost a super layer above every other spiritual path or whatnot. But don't be elitist about it, please. But it does mean that it's a new possibility that has been opened up more in our time here that we live in. That is also why almost nobody lives there yet with their true twin flame, etc. It's a new layer that has been opened, that has been made possible, and I have been initiated in that. So that's how you would need to see it. And then actually what we're doing here is also claiming that new layer and being with the true twin flame that will come after the fulfillment of these paths, automatically and guaranteed, because it's an organic thing that just will happen, because that's how the universe works. It's in the fabric of the universe. You can't do anything about that. You're also going to say, we're going to get that moment of that meeting and being with them. We're going to take it more in the front of my spiritual journey as well. And I can be together already with them pretty much in the beginning or the middle or something. And we can do the rest of the journey actually in tandem together, right? Well, so what's more romantic than that? And that's actually what harmonious union is as well. So I hope this helped, that I sort of tried to, in short, enlighten you about this. I have written more about it in that article that you can ask me specifically and individually to provide to you if you want to. Next, let's move on. Oh, I didn't read. I didn't read like my explanation, and I will now. We're still in which statement is false, and this was my explanation. Twin flames are supposed to be together in an intimate love relationship that involves being partners, friends, teacher, and student too. They gravitate towards each other after every spiritual path truly walked fully. They deserve a direct path that brings them to you to walk the organic journey together for as much it is still before you after union. The solution you are asking for with watching videos is to have them in your actual life in all ways, because in truth, they are already yours. Right, now we can move on. Next quiz is, what form does twin flame energetic communication play out in? This quiz has 22 answers received. And the first option is dreams, numbers, songs, nature, signs, overheard conversations, and 5% voted for this one. I think that dreams are very well known. These are all well-known signs, right? That energetic communication, I have called it right now. Many people dream of the twin flame. It's just this very overwhelming love in a form of a beautiful person that comes in your dream, and yeah, it will be very recognizable often in your dream, and that's an unconscious knowing that you have there that comes up in images, and because we all know in the depth of ourselves that we do have a twin flame. Numbers is a very well-known energetic communication. Many people communicate with the divine like that. They see 1111 all the time on clocks or on many other places. And other numbers such as 2222, 3333, 11, 111, 1111. But also other things. It just depends on how you are attuned and what you have as a communication line with the divine. Maybe it's 1212, can be very many number things that really speak to you. And you can also ask the divine what it means for specifically you, or even in this very moment. And we also have songs. Very many people have songs as energetic communication. I myself have that when I go to the supermarket, and then they play this radio pop song thing, the background. And I just hear sometimes messages being sung to me while I do my grocery shopping. How about that? So it's just that you are hearing the divine in any place that you are open to. And this is a well-known one. 2, nature science. I love nature science. I've worked so much with it, and I've done so many nature walks for my spiritual quests and just my processing time and my health time as well, which is all the same and at the same time. And I love nature science. They're all the time here. You see a certain bird, you find certain feathers, you feel at home with certain trees, and just feel safe there, and so that a communication can come to you. It can have very many forms, and yeah, it can be a lot of fun too, because you see maybe a rabbit on your nature walk, and then you go home and you look up ideas on the internet that someone might have written about the totem of the rabbit, or the spirit animal of the rabbit, or however people want to speak about it, or nature sign rabbit, and you get some ideas what other people might have felt with these nature signs, and they can just correspond with what you have felt with it. It can be so much fun, but essentially it's just also a communication from the divine, and you can just tune in your heart and know what it means actually. Overheard conversations. Yeah, I thought that was funny too. I think that people overhear conversations from other people, maybe in the train or something, or in the bus, or at the street, or I don't know, just in your living room, and you get communications from it, like, oh, that is, they're just saying something, and that means something for my journey. So 5% of you have indicated that that is what you experience, and that you know that that is how the energetic communication plays out in. And that seems a pretty low 5%, but that is because of the rest of the answers, and they were another option, inner urges to go to certain places. 0% has indicated that. And yeah, I thought that was also another category of things, and that some people have that, but maybe not everyone. I certainly had that, inner urges to go to certain places, like going back to the city I was born in and to go live here, not for any other specific reason than for that I knew that the twin flame was here and I was going to meet him here, and we had some sort of an appointment here. That was like the holistic appointment that I felt in my soul, you know? But seriously though. And it also came true. It just came true. It was all 100% right. But some other people have inner urges to go to certain places that are more like they want to go to certain places for a spiritual quest. Oh no, I had that as well. I go for spiritual quests to certain places or countries or cities. But I don't have it so much as I sometimes see other people do. They really go like, oh, I'm going on a spiritual quest in this European city or that South American place, or and they really need to be there, and they have this feeling that they heal themselves but also that place in some sort of way. um in general, I don't necessarily, this is maybe like a cautionary tale, a warning, I don't necessarily personally endorse that for people to do that, or certainly not all the time, because you might be just in a place in your journey and in your spiritual development that you might not really be grounded yet, that grounded, and to go then on a whim on to all such places because you feel called might just be, just think about, like, it might be for some people in some occasions be more of a floaty fantasy than that it's really necessary for them to make these trips, and you can become ungrounded by these trips, or it is not really helping for you to ground. So just take that into account. um, I'm a firm believer that every place, and the word places is in all possible um, meanings of the word, can actually be traveled in the heart. That's the primary place where you want to travel for any reason. Please understand that. Having visions during meditations, 0%. Voted for that. But that is also what can happen, of course, when you are a meditator and you like being still with yourself for an hour or something. You can, if you know how to do it, go deep with yourself and meet energetic communication with the twin flame there. Absolutely. And it can have some sort of forms or visuals or energetic experiences or warmth, or it can have different forms. It can, absolutely. But the true answer was, and which received also the most votes, 95% of the votes, was all of the above, plus more. And my explanation was yes. And when integrated, it's not more than your surroundings that are your new norm, this energetic communication. Your new home. You can integrate all these experiences by doing the twin flame inner work with the key tool. It is all about feeling your actual feelings, turning it around and loving yourself until it feels complete. Result, being so mixed into the high twin flame vibration that there is no overwhelming reaction anymore. Things normalize for your perception that now lives on that high frequency always. So here I brought it even one step further than everything I talked about, and which is very good that I did that, because it's true. We often can get lost in dreams, numbers, songs, nature signs, overheard conversations, inner urges to go to certain places, and having visions during meditations. We can get lost in it, and we can think that this is it, this is the thing, this is the whole thing, this is what I asked for, and really spiral out of yourself because of it. And that is not what it's meant to give you. It's what it's meant to give you is that you integrate all these experiences, and when you go deeper in the spiritual twin flame journey, you will and also must experience, otherwise something is not going right, that it actually all integrates in one big, everything is one big twin flame communication, and energetic as well at the same time. Everything is a sign, because you are a twin flame, dude. I mean, it's what you are. So how can there be anything, my hair, my glasses, this background, you out there, this computer, how can there in the world be anything that is not a twin flame sign? That doesn't exist. And so you will, when you go deeper in the journey, experience that it just comes over you completely and you just sort of drown in all the twin flame signs and energetic communication. And that's what's meant to happen. And that means that it just becomes your new norm. You will sober up after you've drowned yourself first, unequivocally and forever after. And then you will like root there. You understand? You will live there. You will create your home there. And then you also have surpassed all these warnings of mine for going to certain places and whatnot. So good to know, isn't it? Let's move on. Why is the twin flame journey so intense? And this is, again, a quiz, and it received 20 answers, and it is a beautiful continuation of what we just talked about. Why is it so intense? It's a quiz, so there are 4 possible answers. And the first one is because the universe is a more powerful force than I am. Okay, 5% answered that. And the universe is powerful. It's another word for the divine. It doesn't really matter to me what you say. God, the divine mother, universe, intelligence source. I don't know. Whatever you want. It is powerful. But when you say it like that, you also deny that there is a spark of that universe or divine inside of you, which would mean that you are actually that powerful too. Now it sounds a little bit as if it's all coming over you. The universe is coming over me, taking me over. Well, that makes you a sort of a victim of the universe. And that doesn't help because a victim mentality never helps anybody in any moment. And that's not handy. The second one is because the twin flame is often being kind of an asshole, honestly. Because the twin flame is often being kind of an asshole, honestly. As the answer to why is the twin flame journey so intense, and 5% did vote for that. So I think one person voted for this. And I understand that the twin flame can come across as an asshole. But the mirror idea that they are your biggest mirrors of all time and all places means actually that when you would say that your twin flame is an asshole, then you are actually saying by mere implication that you are an asshole. Right. It just doesn't really make sense to speak about it like that. But what does make sense is going deeper with the twin flame inner work with the key tool. And that will actually, in fact, make you get rid of seeing them as an asshole and purify yourself from being an asshole. Both. That's what the twin flame inner work does. If you do the correct twin flame inner work, which is the actual twin flame work with the key tool, and you execute it correctly. And over, not just once in your lifetime. That will happen when you are in this situation that you think they're kind of an asshole. So if that's your reason for that the journey is so intense, then I advise doing the twin flame inner work. And if that's your reason for the journey to seem intense to you, then you've also done that to yourself because you have not gotten rid of your assholery yet. That's why they mirror it to you, this assholery, which can make it intense. I understand that. I mean, I understand it, I do genuinely understand it. How can they be such an asshole that they have a family with someone else? How can they be such an asshole that they just rejected me after 2 dates and blocked me on social media? How can they be such an asshole? Well, they can because there's something inside of you that they're mirroring for you. And you can find out what that is. And you have empowerment in the situation in this way that you can heal what that is inside of you. And then you will see that it will change something in the outer world because you see it differently, because you feel differently. So that's how I would approach that. But I do understand that things can be very intense. Absolutely. And they mirror these things to you. It feels intense because it brings up a lot of emotions. The twin flame is the expert in bringing up all your upsets that are already inside of you to the forefront to be healed. That's their specialism. That's their function. That's why they're here. That is just how much they love you. They love you so much that they make you experience these things so that you can clean them up, so that you can become purified. And when that's your true desire in life, then it won't be a nuisance. You will be grateful. Why is the twin flame journey so intense? Because my dark parts are coming up for healing. 10% voted for that. 2 people did that. So we've actually been talking about that already in the last one, right? And that is why the twin flame journey is so intense. Absolutely. Yeah. Because that is difficult. It is emotion causing. That all these dark parts of myself are coming up for healing. But the right answer was the last one, and that's this one. Because of resisting doing the inner work, plus the dark parts of me answer. Because the dark parts of you coming up for healing can be very intense. But it is the resisting of doing the inner work to purify that actually makes it so intense. Because the shadows coming up, shown by my asshole twin flame, wink wink, is not a problem in itself. It is that I don't do promptly and fully and to completion the inner work that it portrays to me that I need to do. Because when I do so, now going through the 4 steps of the key tool, maybe shedding some tears with it, no problem, then it will be different. It won't be intense anymore. You will see it different. You will feel different. And the situation will change. All of these. And this is my actual explanation. The universe is inside of you. The power of the divine is an inner experience and not against you. The twin flame is you at the core where you are one. So blaming them does not really do anything other than making things worse. The journey will make you be purified. Your dark parts will come up for healing, and doing the inner work is what will make this streamline and work out in the best way for you. you'll reach harmonious union, the consciousness state. So true. Let's continue with another one. What creates lasting peaceful results on the twin flame journey? 16 answers to this quiz. First possible answer, working from the inside out, so outer results come from inner peace. Or doing the twin flame inner work about everything that upsets you. Or going to the state of consciousness of harmonious union first. Or all of the above. So, to go back to the first one, working from the inside out, so outer results come from inner peace. 13% have voted for that. And lasting peaceful results on the twin flame journey, I think, do come from working from the inside out. Because when you feel genuinely in your subtle heart, in your energy, a certain way, that must be represented around you as well, because you are a creator and not a passive victim of the universe. When you always work from the inside out like that, you start to create the world in which you can be together with your twin flame union. And you can be together with your twin flame union in that and not only create the world, because when you truly go to the true inner peace inside of you, that must be the result as well in your 3D material daily life. Because they belong to your inner peace. When you purify until the point where they live inside of you, they must also come forward in your daily life. It's a law. It's like how the universe works. So it is important to work from the inside towards the outside, and it does create lasting peaceful results, and it even does create your union on the whole. So 13% of people were right. Doing the twin flame inner work about everything that upsets you is the other answer that 6% have answered, is what creates lasting peaceful results on the twin flame journey. And I think they are right, these 6% of people, because doing the twin flame work about everything that upsets you does create that purification towards the inner peace that it's all about and where twin flames live. So twin flame inner work is about seeing them as the asshole and working with how you feel to make that different and how you feel about it different so that it is different to you. But it is also doing the same about anything else that upsets you. It's mine. I'm like my breakfast of this morning, or my dinner, or my neighbor, or my book that I'm reading. It doesn't matter. Anything that upsets you can be put into the inner work machine as the raw material, and inner peace will flow out. If you do the right kind of inner work tool that is fit for twin flame inner work, the key tool, that I do share in our Facebook group Your Abundance, and on more places, by the way, also outside the group. But in that group, there's the most, information about them and the most guidance and whatnot. When you do that about everything that upsets you with the right kind of inner work tool that we mean here, that does create that inner peace where twin flames live. So you can put all of these things as raw material in it. And it will all contribute to your building your twin flame inner peace place where your harmonious union will arise for you, will arise there. And the next idea is going to the state of consciousness of harmonious union first to create a lasting, peaceful result on the twin flame journey. That's what I truly recommend for you. Please go to the state of consciousness of harmonious union, or the state of being, if you want to say it like that, which is more an energetically connected way of saying it. Please do that first. That's what you really want. I guarantee you that. That's really what you actually want. Absolutely. I'm positive about that. That's what you want. Because it is the place where you not only are with the true twin flame together and not with a random body of someone else, but you're also guaranteed that it will build and not fall down anymore. And in an harmonious way, in like a good feeling way, in a smooth way. So that's what you're really wanting. So go to that consciousness place first as priority of the focus of what you're doing with your inner work and your involvement with inner work and investing in that and whatnot. That is the direction that you want to keep in focus. And the rest will come from it, like having an official relationship, moving in together, being engaged, getting married, starting your mission business together, starting a family together, having children together, helping other people together. That is all coming from that consciousness place, and it comes in a harmonious way from that place, in which you are also guaranteeing yourself that you are with your true twin flame and not your false one. And that's what you really want. Otherwise, you're investing your time and resources and love in what eventually, essentially, will be the wrong person if you look at the definitive make-up of your inner truth of your soul, which you one day will have to then correct, because it will come out one day, or to your attention one day, if not in this lifetime, then in the next one, and you will want to correct that. So why not do that correct at the beginning? Why not do it correct right now? And that is what the state of consciousness of harmonious union guarantees you as well. So creating lasting, peaceful results on the twin flame journey really depends on that. And the true answer, which 81% said correctly, was then indeed all of the above. Working from the inside out, doing the twin flame inner work about everything that upsets you, and going to the state of consciousness of harmonious union first. This is what creates lasting, peaceful results on the twin flame journey. You're welcome. And this was my official answer in the quiz. Twin flame inner work with the key tool means you are starting within, with your feelings, and then seeing your outside physical world change from that into a more peaceful version that lasts. You do this about every big emotion or small detail that is imperfect and upsetting. Doing this will eventually create inside of you your harmonious twin flame union state of consciousness, from which things will be birthed in the physical life, again, if need be, from peace out and in a lasting way. And I say again, if need be, because maybe you had already manifested a whole life with the twin flame, but you were not in harmonious union, and therefore actually you started to take your upsets personally from them and say go away, and your whole household split, and you are what they call separated again, in separation again. And should you then have a light bulb moment and think to yourself, gosh, maybe I should do what Petra says. Maybe I should go to harmonious twin flame union, the state of consciousness first. And you do the correct twin flame inner work, and you do everything that you can do to reach that, and you do reach it eventually, and we are both together in that, and we can both acknowledge that you are indeed, and we're now together there. Then you can also birth in the physical this twin flame life again, if need be. But now it will be lasting, and now it will be the real thing. And you will be 100% sure that it is your true twin flame as well. So I hope this helped. I think we're going to leave it here for now for this video. Lovely that you tuned in. We will have a third video, it really looks like, for this, talking you through all the answers that you gave to the polls and quizzes about twin flames. And you know, it is for you that I do have this twin flame mission that I am inhabiting here. And I have a short and sweet video about that in which I explain what my mission really is, and I would love for you to see that now. I will put it right here in a couple of seconds where you can click on it. But I just wanted to mention this for you as well, that to go real deep in your twin flame journey, I do currently in 2023, when this video came out, have the Black Friday deal, and it's still valid until the end of Sunday upcoming, November 26, and at the end of the day, and in which you can obtain a personal reading about everything you need to know for a successful journey for you individually. And normally this divine love reading costs €99 at this point, but I give a discount of over 40% off. I must have gone nuts, but here it is, 57, I just can't even pronounce it, it's so nuts. €57. Take advantage of it while you can. And you do need to be signed up either to my newsletter or be in the Facebook group, so you can pick which one you like best. If you're not in one of them yet, then you pay through the link, and then I will acknowledge that you have your reading. I will take a couple of days to make it for you and send it to you by email. It is a reading that gives you everything that everyone always wants to know, but then channeled from the divine about you individually, and what are the answers to the questions that you may have about your twin flame, like who is my twin flame? Do they know that they're my twin flame? Am I in relationship with them already? Are they on the earth at this moment? And these kinds of things. But also a lot and a lot and a lot more. Angelic healing, master magician healing, energetic body point healing, decrees for you individually. So all of that in this more than 7-page long channeled report. Anyway, here it is. It's still for the taking until end of the day tomorrow on Sunday, the 26th of November. I just wanted you to know that. Take advantage of this deal. This special deal will never come back. It's so ridiculously cheap. I cannot afford to do that again. So there you go. I hope that helped you as well. Stay tuned for the little mission video that I have for you here, and I will also see you in the third video about everything about your answers about the polls and quizzes. Much love from Petra.